Hi guys, it's Carly. I'm gonna start in like a minute here. So if you can get a mat or just a nice space, preferably somewhere where it's semi-quiet. We'll get started in about a minute. Awesome. Hi everyone. So we're going to try to do a flow here, see if we can kind of give our minds a little bit of break of all this craziness going on. I'm going to turn up the music a little bit. Okay. Hi, Kathy. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start on our mats here, or your floor, or wherever you have a nice space. I'm actually gonna start lying on the mat here. So start off nice, comfortable position. If you can bring your feet underneath your knees, we're gonna drop the hands just onto the bottom of the rib cage. I'm going to just start off our practice by taking some deep, full breaths. And see if you can start to slow the mind here. Taking a great big inhale through the nose. Fill those ribcage up, and as you exhale, squeeze the ribcage together. See if you can tighten through the core. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Good. Seeing if we can let our bodies focus the next 50 minutes just on the sound of the breath and how the body feels. Try not to force anything. And really see if you can connect to the sound of your breath. In yoga, we like to use the Ujjayi breath. Just kind of like a light snore in the back of the throat. As you inhale, draw that breath in through the nostrils. And as you exhale, pressing that breath out through the nostrils, engaging through the core. Let's try a couple more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Keeping that deep breath. We're going to slide our hands down to the hips here. And then just making sure that our low back is pressing into the mat. So we're engaging those core muscles. Moving nice and slow here. We're going to start off on an inhale. We're going to lift that right leg up. So see if you can bring the shin nice and level, the knees right above the hip. And as you exhale, lower. Try not to shift through the hips or abdominals. Inhale. Exhale. Good, using that core. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. If that feels right, staying there. If you want to go a little deeper, on inhale, we're going to lift that right leg up. And as you exhale, really squeeze the core. Try not to move through those hips. You're going to lift the left leg. Inhale, lower the right. Exhale, lower the left. Inhale, squeeze that right leg up. Exhale, squeeze the core. Left leg comes up. Inhale, lower the right. Exhale, lower the left. Let's try 2 more times here. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lower. Last time, engaging that core. Creating some heat through the center of the body. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lower. Good. From here, we're going to bring our knees into the chest. And then grabbing either the front sides of the shins or behind the knees. On an inhale, you're going to bring your forehead up towards the knees. squeeze. Just make it a C shape with the spine. Elbows are out to the side here. We're gonna roll here. So if it feels uncomfortable on the spine at any time, you can come up to seated position and fold here in boat pose, or drop the feet and bring support through the back. If you feel comfortable rolling, we're gonna use the legs the first couple of times so that forehead comes towards the knees, make that C shape. As you exhale, you're gonna engage the core, come up. If you can balance on the sit bones, do so. If not, drop the feet to the floor. And then inhale, bring that chin to the chest. Exhale, sitting up. Inhale, exhale. If you feel comfortable releasing those legs, inhale, exhale. Squeeze the core, sit that chest up nice and tall. Let's try 2 more times here. Last one. Good, hold here, squeeze that core in. In boat pose now, you can bring your shins up towards the knee level. If you find you're starting to scrunch through the low back, you're gonna bring your hands behind you and really press the chest through. Squeeze those thighs together. Let's try 3 deep breaths here, keeping the chest wide. Hold that belly button in. Good, one more inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, we're gonna cross the ankles, either rolling onto the knees here, or if you'd like, bring those legs to the side and come back into your cat pose. Just gonna make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, good. All right, we're gonna come into cat pose here. So you're in all fours, spreading all 10 of the fingers nice and wide. The knees are directly underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders. On an inhale, I want you to roll the chest through, lift the tailbone up. If it feels okay with the neck, you can open up the throat, gaze through the eyes. As you exhale, engage that core, press through the arms, drop the head. See if you can imagine bringing your forehead towards the pelvis. Inhale, follow the breath through. Exhale. Good. Inhale, bringing that movement through the spine. Exhale. See if you can use your breath to guide you into the next asana as you inhale and exhale. Try one more time here. Inhale, squeeze those shoulders back, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, round out through the stomach. Hold that forehead towards the pelvis. Inhale, we'll come to a neutral pelvis now. So keeping those hips nice and flat. Hands are underneath the shoulders here, coming into your first downward facing dog. We're gonna come up onto the toes, lift the knees off the mat, and then start to slide the chest back. So you want the knees bent nice and deep for your first downward facing dog. Let the head kind of hang heavy. You want your ears aligned with the elbows. Slide those shoulders away from the ears here, so we're really opening up the back. And then as it feels right, you can start to bring some length through the legs, just making sure not to round through the back. We want to keep that back nice and long. Find your breath here. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, engage the core. Let's try 3 more breaths here. One more inhale. Feel the tailbone slide back. As you exhale, gaze towards those fingertips. We're going to walk our feet towards the hands. Inhale, you're going to come up into a half lift here. Back up a bit. You're going to lift up through the chest, so just creating some length through the low back. And as you exhale, fold the body forward. From here, you can wiggle those feet hip distance apart. And then just grabbing opposite elbow with opposite hand, just drape the upper body over top of the legs. Bend those knees as much as you need here. Just let the head hang heavy. Let's take a couple deep, full breaths. Okay. All right. And just make sure there's no tension back here. Let's draw the chin from side to side. Let those shoulders slump forward. I like to use this pose at the beginning of practice. Just see if you can allow any tension or stress from the day just to fall off the top of the head. Let's see if we can allow the bodies to feel light. Good. From here, let's slowly drop those hands down to the floor. And then just moving nice and slowly, we're going to roll up one vertebra at a time, letting that body kind of ragdoll forward. Start by pressing into those legs, engaging the thighs, squeeze through the glutes. the abdominals engaged. And then last, let's roll those shoulders back and come into mountain pose. So coming to the front of your mat, you're gonna bring your feet together, hands alongside the body. See if you can engage those muscles through the legs. So you're really squeezing up through the quads, pressing those hips forward. Arms are lengthening towards the floor, so you're creating that length through the shoulders. See if you can engage every muscle in the body here. You're pressing through those feet, all 10 of the toes, almost rolling those feet out. And feel that heat building through the lower body. We're going to move through our sun salutation, starting with sun salutation A. On the next inhale, let's bring those hands high. If it feels right through the neck, looking up, you can press the hips forward. Exhale, let's bend the knees, bring the hands to the mat. Inhale, that halfway lift. Either hands from the floor, shins or thighs, just making sure we create that nice length in the low back. As you exhale, let's step the feet back. Chaturanga Dandasana. From here, your toes or your knees, bring those elbows in nice and tight. So we're lowering to the mat. Release the lower body, keeping those elbows nice and tight to the sides. On an inhale, lifting to Cobra. So just making sure the shoulders don't come to the ears. We're going to slide them down the back, opening that chest up. Feels right through the neck. You can bring the gaze up. Just opening up here. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, lower down. Again, from knees or toes, press yourself up. And then as you exhale, let's come into our downward facing dog. Spreading all 10 of the fingers. Press the tailbone back, open up through the chest. Let's play around with your downward facing dog. For some people, it feels better to have your legs wide. Sometimes it feels better to have them in. It's whatever feels best for your body. See if you can listen to what your body's trying to tell you here. Come back to that breath. 2 more here. Every exhale, see if you can sink the body a little bit deeper. Good, this exhale, gaze towards those fingertips. Either step or if you'd like, jump the feet forward. Inhale, halfway again, so we're looking up, creating that length through the low back, and exhale, fold. Good, this time, we're gonna reach those arms out to the side. Back is nice and long, engage your core. On inhale, pull the belly button in, come up to standing, and exhale, palms to the center. Good, moving through sun salutation A again. Inhale, press the feet down, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Look up, create that length. Exhale, and this time you can either step or jump back. If you're jumping back, engage that core. Feet come back. Lower down from the knees or toes, elbows coming nice and tight. And inhale, lifting up Cobra. If you'd like to come into upward facing dog onto the tops of the toes, press the hips forward. Then as you exhale, either adding a push-up or just coming into your downward facing dog. Again, at any time, if this hurts the wrists or shoulders, just come into your child's pose, give the body a break. And then reconnect with the sound of your breath. Remember, this is your own practice. Just doing what feels best for your body. Good, listening to that breath. One more inhale, slide the sit bones back. Exhale, gaze towards those fingertips. Step or hop your feet. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Good, inhale, engage the core. Reach those arms out and come up to standing. Exhale, palms to the center. Let's try one more sun salutation A. On an inhale, hands up, press those feet down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, looking up, halfway. Exhale, step or jump the feet back. Elbows are nice and tight, lower to the floor. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. So either to the tops of the toes, or tops of the feet, sorry, or down onto the hips, keeping the slight bend through those elbows. Exhale, down dog. Good, getting a little warmer through the legs, start to work those heels towards the floor. Chest is open. And see if you can press all 10 of the fingers into the mat, engaging every muscle in the body here. here, on an inhale, we're going to slide that left foot kind of down the center of the body for three-legged dog. You're going to lift the right leg up and see if you can point the ball of the right foot towards the ceiling. And a nice stretch here. Lengthen out through the legs, three-legged dog. One more inhale. As you exhale, you're going to gaze towards those fingertips and lunge that right leg through. If you can't get it through the hands, use your hand, if you can't get it through the hands, use your hands to pull it through. From here, you're going to square off that left foot. So the left toes are pointing the side wall and the right toes are pointing forward. Looking down at your feet, making sure that your right heel is in line with the instep of the left foot. On the inhale, we'll come up into warrior one. So for the first one, just bring your hands to your hips. Imagine like there's lights on the hip bones. We're trying to rotate both hips forward, getting those lights shining forward. Really squeeze through that back leg. So we're pressing into all 5 of the toes on the left foot and then rotating those hips forward. And then see if you can just surrender into that right leg. If it feels all right here, lift the hands up. If that brings tension to the shoulders, just keep the hands onto the hips. Find your breath here. In these warrior poses, it will challenge the breath. See if you can maintain a deep flow of breath. Good. We're going to get nice and deep into the hips here. So from here, I want you to hinge the upper body forward. So you should feel that weight kind of pull into the hip. If it's too much strain into the hip, just drop your hands down onto the forearm, onto the thigh. And then we're really using the core here on a straight line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Hands can reach out to the side. If you'd like to, you can reach the hands back. From this pose, we're going to transition into airplane pose. So from here, you can come up onto left toes, drag that foot up. If that is too much for balance here, keep that bend. You're going to slide that left leg up, come up to standing, and then when you're ready, start to lift that left leg up. Key to the balancing poses is try to keep the eyes still. Really root down through that right leg. Bring a slight bend into the right knee. Keeping those eyes still, and the breath is nice and deep. Engage your core here. And again, focusing on those hips. So we want to imagine those lights are shining down on the floor evenly here. So using your glutes. Good. One more inhale. As you exhale, you're going to drop your hands down to the floor. So if you're flexible through the hamstrings, you can bring your hands in line with that right foot. Otherwise, the hands can come out in front. I just want you to bring your head heavy, and you're going to try to lift those toes up towards the ceiling here. So you can press all 5 of the toes apart, drop the head heavy, and take 3 deep breaths. If you'd like to challenge balance, you can work those hands in line with that right foot, or work on grabbing onto that right ankle. Did not have any balance today, so good. One more inhale, and exhale. Let's bring those feet together. Inhale, we're going to do a halfway lift, stretch through that low back. As you exhale, I want you to wiggle the feet hip distance apart and bend the body forward. From here, you're going to yogi grip, so 2-piece fingers and thumb make a hook around the big toe. On an inhale, I want you to glue your chest to the thighs, looking forward. Keep that length in the low back, and as you exhale, you're going to start to bring the body forward. Elbows pull out to the sides. And imagine that that chest is glued to the thighs. So we don't want to pull the chest away, just let that upper body hang heavy. If you want to work into this pose, you can start to lift up on the toes, engage the biceps. Keep that breath deep. Two more breaths here. Let the shoulders slump towards the ears. Good. As you exhale, let's release those toes. We're going to bring the hands out forward and step or jump yourself into that Chaturanga Dandasana. So from here, the knees are toes. You're going to lower the body down. Inhale, we're gonna just pause in cobra pose. Bring those legs out nice and wide. Elbows stay nice and tight to the body, and lifting up here. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Just letting that collarbone lift towards the ceiling. If you'd like to open the throat, you can bring the gaze towards the ceiling. Good job, guys. One more inhale. And exhale. Let's come down. You're going to come into downward facing dog, or if you'd like a little rest, come into your child's pose. 3 deep breaths here. If you'd like to walk the dog, just let that right hip kind of relax. You can drop one heel and lift the opposite. If you're in child's pose, coming back to your downward facing dog. Your next inhale, once you bring that right foot in line with the hands now for 3-legged dog, you're going to lift that left leg up. Spreading all 5 of the toes. Try to pull the ball of the foot towards the ceiling. Keep your breath nice and deep. Good. Next inhale, let's gaze towards those fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to lunge that left leg through. Again, assisting it if you need to. You're going to square off the right foot. The heel of the left heel is in line with the instep of the right foot. You're going to twist both hips forward here. So you may need to turn in that back leg, just depending on your flexibility of the hips. You're going to rotate the hips forward, bring your hands to your hips to start, and then lunge into that left leg. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana A. Good, really squeeze up that back leg. So we're engaging through the back thigh and then surrendering down into that left leg. If it feels right here, you can lift the hands towards the ceiling. If you'd like to, you can also bring your hands together. Just whatever feels most comfortable for you. Maintaining that deep flow of breath. Good. See with every exhale if you can come a little bit deeper. Feel that heat in the thighs. If you've done any of the classes this week, I'm sure your thighs are burning. Good. From here, as you exhale, I want you to engage the core. You're going to just hinge the upper body forward. Again, if that brings any strain to the knees, low back, drop your hands onto that left thigh. I want you to imagine a strength from the crown of the head to the tailbone, so we're keeping nice and straight through that low back. If you'd like, the hands can come out in front, or out to the sides, to the back. If you have them out front, this is going to be a nice strength for the core, low back. From here, we're going to transition into airplane. So when you're ready, you can drag that leg up. Again, if you want, you can come up to a stance, come onto the right toes. When you're ready, start to lift that right leg. Slide down through the left leg, finding your gaze. And again, try to bring both hips even towards the floor. Listen to the sound of your breath. Good, let's try one more inhale. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Hands can come out in front of the left leg. If you're flexible and it feels good through the hamstrings, bring them in line. From here, you're going to bend the body forward. So let's let that head hang heavy. And then instead of focusing on this left leg, I'm going to try to focus on pulling that right leg nice and long. So it doesn't matter how high the right leg is. You want to get it as straight as you can. So really pulling out of the ball of the foot. And letting that head hang heavy. One more inhale, squeeze out, and exhale. Let's bring those feet together. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, this time we're going to wiggle those feet hip distance apart, come a little bit deeper into Padahastasana. So the hands come underneath the feet here, right up to the wrists. If you have any wrist injuries or anything, you just bring your hands onto the ankles. If you can, behind the ankles, otherwise in front, and then just hinge the body forward. If it feels right, you're going to feed the hands underneath the feet, On an inhale, you're going to glue the chest to thighs again. And as you exhale, you're going to push the body weight into the palm of the hand. And then just this time, you're just going to let the shoulders slump to the ears. Nice forward bend. Let's try 3 breaths here. In some of these poses where you find it challenges the breath, see if you can just slow it down. Try not to let your thoughts take over the mind. Good. On an inhale, let's release the feet. You're going to walk those hands forward and walk or jump the feet back. Chaturanga Dandasana. From here, lower the body down. Inhale, coming up, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Good, let's take 5 deep breaths here. Slide those shoulders down the back. Good, on an inhale, we're going to gaze towards those fingertips. As you exhale, step or jump the feet. Inhale halfway, create that length. Exhale, fold. Good, all the way up this time. Reach up through the arms, engage the core. All the way to standing. Exhale, palms to center. Good, we're going to come into Sun Salutation B. So starting with chair pose, Uttanasana. If you have tight hips and it's not comfortable to keep the feet together, you can bring the feet hip distance apart. Otherwise, you're going to squeeze those feet together. So if you can keep the feet together, pulling those legs together nice and tight, you're going to start off with the hands on the hips. As you exhale, I want you to sink back. So we're trying to pull the tailbone back, making sure those knees don't pass the toes, engaging the thighs. If it feels okay, you can just leave the hands on the hips. If you want, you can bring the hands out into prayer. If that feels right, you can also reach the hands up. So just like we're sitting in a chair here, we're really building heat into those thighs, squeezing those legs together. Unless that's uncomfortable, keep your feet hip distance apart. Shoulders slide away from the ears as the fingertips reach high. Find your breath. Good. Pull the tailbone down. Let's try 2 more breaths here. Good, and as you inhale, lift up. Exhale, let's take that heat, fold the body forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step or jump back. From your knees or your toes, all the way down. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, either adding a push-up or coming into your downward facing dog. Sun Salutation B, we're gonna add up the warriors now. So we're gonna square off that left foot. And exhale, lunge to the right. So that warrior 1 pose we just did with the heel in line with the inside of the left foot. On an inhale, come up. If it feels off balance with the hands, just bring the hands to the hips. And as you exhale, let's come back to that high push-up position. Good, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, square off your right foot. Exhale, lunge your left. Again, checking your stance. Inhale, come up. Hands can come to the hips or come high. Good, and then coming back to the mat. As you exhale, lower the body down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's try 5 deep breaths in our downward facing dog. We're going to try to go through that Sun Salutation B 2 more times. And then moving at your own pace, but see if you can match your breath to movement. So every time we breathe, we're moving into a different asana. But again, don't rush the body. If something doesn't feel good or you want to stay in a pose longer, do so. Listen to your body. Inhale, let's gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump the feet. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Good, inhale, Uttanasana, so coming down to that chair pose. Lift the hands up, or hands come to the hips. Exhale, come to standing. Good, so we're gonna try one breath each asana here. Again, if it doesn't feel good to do so, take as many breaths as you need each pose. On an inhale, let's come down, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step or jump back. All the way down. Inhale, follow that breath up. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, square off your left foot. Exhale, lunge your right. Coming up, one breath here. Inhale, warrior one. Squeeze those hips forward. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Good. Inhale, square off the right. Exhale, lunge to the left. One breath here. Inhale, squeeze up. Press those hips forward. Exhale to the floor. We're going to try to go through that one more time, again at your own pace. Just creating that heat through the body so we can move deeper into the hips. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Back to that chair pose. Lower the sit bones. Hands come up or into prayer. And exhale to standing. One breath here. Inhale, come up. Sit bones come down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, follow the breath through. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, square off the left. Exhale, lunge to the right. Inhale. Exhale to the floor. Let your breath guide you to the next pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale, square off. Exhale, lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Good. From here, inhale, come into your cobra. And then exhale, let's just come into our child's pose here. Walk those fingertips forward and just allow the chest to fall onto the mat. Bring your forehead to the floor. Just listen to the sound of your breath here. Take some deep, full breaths. Good. Once you feel connected to the sound of your breath again, whenever you're ready, we'll come back up into our downward facing dog. Good. Downward facing dog, bring the gaze towards those fingertips, and as you exhale, step or jump the feet. Inhale, looking up halfway, create that length. Exhale, fold. All the way up this time. Engage the core, and exhale, palms to center. Good, we're gonna come into our warrior two here. So I'm gonna come this way. So we're gonna open up, keeping your right leg forward, you're gonna open up your left leg. So same kind of stance as your warrior one, your heels in line with the instep of your left foot. This time we're going to bring our hands onto our hips. Instead of trying to turn our hips forward, we're turning them to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to lunge into that right leg. So making sure that your right knee doesn't pass your toe, you're keeping your knee over top of your ankle. And then we're trying to open that hip up here. Hands can stay on the hips if that feels right. This back leg's nice and straight. If you'd like to, into the arms, you can straighten those arms out. And then bring your gaze over top of the right hand. Imagine like you're slightly trying to draw that right knee open, getting a little deeper into the hip. See if every exhale you can sink a little bit deeper. any tension through the shoulders. You can always drop the hands. From here, we're going to keep that back leg straight. Drop your left hand down the back leg, keeping this right leg bent. Reach over the head with the right hand. If you can, bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. If that brings any strain to the neck, just looking down to the floor. Feel a nice stretch up the side of the body. Good. From here, we're going to windmill forward. Drop your right forearm onto the right thigh and lift that left hand up to the ceiling. Side angle balance here. You can press that elbow into the knee, slightly drawing the knee open. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper and you can maintain a nice flat back, you can slide that right hand to the inside of the right foot. Left hand lifts up. Keep that chest nice and wide. We're trying to open and roll that shoulder back. If you want to go even deeper, this left hand can come around the back. You can clasp onto the right thigh, or you can bind both hands underneath the leg. Again, just working with your own body here. Let's try 3 more breaths. Every inhale, so you can look over that left shoulder, rolling the shoulder open, keeping that chest wide. Good. One more inhale. And exhale. Let's bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. You're going to turn the hips forward and drop down to that left knee. So this may feel like a stretch right here. So the right foot's forward. Hands are in the inside of the right foot. Left leg's back, and you can almost feel a little bit of pull on the front side of that left hip. You can hold here if you feel the stretch into that right hip already. Stay here. You can also walk the hands forward, or if it feels right, you can drop down to those forearms. Getting a little bit deeper into the hip too, you can start to drop that knee out to the side. Again, just working with your own body, whatever feels best. And then see if you can allow the hands to relax here. We tend to tighten up the fists. See if you can stay relaxed. Listen to the sound of your breath. Awesome. Let's come up nice and slow. Press those hands under the shoulders. Coming into half pigeon now. We're going to roll the right foot over to the left hand. And then see if you can drop the knee down. Tighter through the hips. You're going to want to pull that heel in towards the thigh. If you're looser through the hips, you want to draw that out. Trying to keep that nice straight line with the shin. Try not to roll onto the right glute. We want to stay up onto the hips. So you can bring your hands out in front just to kind of support the body weight. If it feels right, you can walk the hands forward. If that feels right, you come right down onto the forearms or lay the chest onto the mat. Again, trying to keep the hands relaxed. The breath is nice and deep. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our hips, so as you inhale, I want you to imagine drawing energy into that right hip. And as you exhale, see if you can just imagine heaviness, tension, just draw away from the hip. And then just allow the chest to sink a little bit deeper. Let's try 2 more breaths here. Moving nice and gently. When you're ready, we're going to work those hands back under the shoulders. Tuck that left toe under. Wiggle that right leg underneath the knee. If it feels right, just stretch that right leg behind you. Kick it out, wiggle it around. And then when you're ready, we'll come back into that downward facing dog. After half pigeon, I always like to walk the dog, so bend one leg as you lengthen the other. This feels nice on the hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to gaze towards those fingertips. And exhale, step or float. exhale, palms to the center. Let's come to the left side. Unfortunately, what we do on one side, we must do on the other. So keep that left foot facing forward, right foot squares off. Again, the heel is in line with the instep of the right foot. Hands can start off on the hips. You're going to squeeze that back leg nice and straight, and as you exhale, lunge into the left leg. Checking in with that stance, make sure the knee doesn't pass the toes. And then you want to try to open the hips up now to the side. So instead of trying to flash those hips forward, we're trying to get the hips to face open here. Hands can stay on the hips, or you can reach those hands out. Sometimes in Warrior Two, I tend to lean forward with my hands. So always try to imagine pulling back through that back arm, so through our right arm. And then again, try to draw that left knee slightly open, just pulling a little bit into the hips and groin. If you feel any tension in the arms too, you can also lift the palms towards the ceiling and back down. It's reminding us to stay relaxed through the shoulders. Let's try 3 breaths here. Awesome. Keep that nice deep lunge through the left leg. Drop your hand down that back leg. Reach over the head with the left fingertips. They're gazing up, or bring your gaze down towards that right foot. Just feel a nice stretch through the side here. Good. And then coming into side angle here, we're going to drop that left forearm down to the left thigh. Right hand can come up towards the ceiling. And you want to use this arm here on the thigh to try to press that left leg slightly open, deeper into the hip, making sure that that wrist is in line with the shoulder and the shoulders are stacked on top of one another. Again, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can slide that left hand to the inside of the left foot. If you want to go deeper into the hips, that right hand can come to the left inner thigh around the back. You can also try binding the hands underneath the leg and just working with whatever feels best for your body. Every inhale, imagine pulling that right shoulder back, gazing over top of the shoulder. Unless you have tension in the neck, you can also keep that gaze down towards the foot. Good. Let's try one more inhale. Roll that chest open. And exhale. Let's bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. We're going to drop down to that right knee. From here, you can keep the hands in line with that left foot. Walk them out. Just wherever you feel some release through the hip there. Stay in there. Try not to force anything. If it feels right, you can come down to the forearms. Again, if that feels right, you can also drop that left knee out to the side, just opening a little deeper into the hip. Shoulders coming into your half pigeon. Left foot wiggles over to the right hand. Drop the knee open. Again, tighter through the hips. Just pull the heel in towards the groin. If it feels right, you can also pull that shin just level with the mat there. Just try not to roll onto the left glute. So we want to stay up on the hips. You can hold here. If it feels right, walk the hands forward. If that feels right, you can drop to the forearm. You can even bring the chest down to the mat. Just reconnecting with the sound of that breath. wiggle it out. And then when you're ready, you can come back to your downward facing dog. Again, I just like to walk the dog after half pigeon. On an inhale, let's gaze forward. As you exhale, step or float the feet. Inhale halfway, exhale, fold. And all the way up to standing, inhale. Exhale, palms to the center. Let's just flow through our final vinyasa here. On an inhale, hands up, press the feet down. Exhale, fold the body forward, bending those knees. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, step or jump back. Strong arms lowering from the knees or toes. Inhale, release that chest up, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Final downward facing dog here. See if you can slide those shoulders away from the ears. Open up the chest. And pulling the sit bones towards the ceiling. As you exhale, just feel the chest fall through the arms. Good. Inhale, gaze towards the fingertips. Some will just drop down to the hands and knees. Again, either cross the ankles and roll onto the sit bones, or you can bring your feet out to the side and roll your feet out in front. I like to grab a sweater or something warm for the last few poses here. So for the first pose, we're going to pull our right leg into our body, nice and tight. Left leg is long. And then see if you can really engage this left leg here. You're going to lift the toes up towards the ceiling. We're contracting through that calf. Nice and strong here. Your right hand is going to come behind your back. See if you can press the heel of the right hand right in towards the tailbone. Lift up through the chest. From here, you're going to bring your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. If that's not possible, you can also bring the hand and then twist over the right shoulder. If you can, the elbow comes to the outside of the right knee and twisting over. As you exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper. Still engaging that left leg. Good. Inhale, release. Let's switch sides here. A little twist. Flexing through that right leg. Bring the left leg into the body. Toes lift up towards the ceiling. Engage through the thigh. Left hand comes to the low back. Pull the heel of the hand to the tailbone. The right hand comes to the outside of the left knee and twist. Or if it feels right, the elbow can come onto the side and gaze over top of that left shoulder. Keep that right leg engaged. As you exhale, squeeze the ribcage together so you can twist a little deeper. Awesome. Come back down the center. From here, we're going to lower into the mat. It's one vertebra at a time. So just reaching out through those fingertips. One vertebra, engage the core. Once that head touches down, squeeze both knees into the chest. Just gently rock from side to side. Just massaging that low back. Good. And keep that right leg squeezing in, left leg long. Reach your right arm out to the side, gluing the shoulder to the mat, and then as you exhale, pull that right knee across the body. Just take a couple deep breaths here into the low back. Okay, when you're ready, pulling that right knee back up, switching sides. Left knee squeezes in nice and tight. Reach that left arm out, glue the shoulder into the mat, and when you're ready, drag that knee across. Deep, full breaths into the low back here. Good, guide that left knee up. Right leg in as well. Again, rock from side to side. Coming into our most important pose of our yoga practice, Shavasana. On the next inhale, I want you to grab the bottoms of the feet if you can, if not the shins. You're going to scrunch yourself up into a tight, tight little ball. I want you to see if you can engage every muscle in the body. Scrunch those toes up, scrunch the face up, clench your jaw, hold your breath. Let's hold here. Every muscle tight for 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, let's just fall into the mat. Find a comfortable position. If If you have a blanket that you can put over your body, do so. I want you to close the eyes and listen to the sound of your breath. This is the most important pose of our yoga practice. Just seeing if we can allow our bodies to completely relax. Just focusing on the sound of your breath entering in and out of the body. And just see if you can notice the thoughts entering into the mind. But try not to give them the time of day. We're trying to focus and bring back our mind to the sound of the flow of breath in and out of the nose. Inhale, drawing positive energy into the body. As you exhale, getting rid of stress, letting go of things we cannot control. Just being in the now. Definitely encourage you to do so. Stay as long as you can. If not, you can slowly start to wiggle the fingers and toes, just bringing movement into the body. If it feels right, you can gently bring the chin side to side, bringing movement through the chest or the neck. If that feels alright, you can release the hands high above the head and stretch those toes forward. When it feels alright, just bringing yourself onto the right side of your body with your knees into your chest. Just allowing yourself a couple deep breaths here before pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And once you find that position, just sitting up nice and tall, drop the chin slightly towards the chest, just keeping the spine long. And take 3 deep breaths here. As you inhale, feel that energy through the spine, lengthening the body. And as you exhale, enjoying that sensation of lightness through the body. On the next inhale, let's open the gaze. Bring your hands high above the head. And as you exhale, bring the palms to the center. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me. Have a great night.